Hey, this hunt is for a buck I call Percival, and I named him that because it was Percival Baxter that started the state park in Maine, and I had to travel over to the northeast to find some snow. It was opening day on a Monday, and we were supposed to have a snowstorm all over northern Maine for Sunday and into Monday, and I waited here with anticipation all Sunday, and the snow never came. And finally, when I looked on the weather, I had seen it had moved to east, so I called a friend over to the east, and they had 3 or 4 inches of snow. So I set my alarm for 3 o'clock, got up in the morning, drove about 3 hours east on logging roads till I finally hit some snow. Didn't know where I really wanted to go, but a guy had told me about a place. There was a deer yard over in there, and they had logged it 10 years ago, so I was going on some old information, but I decided to strike over and see what I could do, and never saw a buck track from the road all the way in because the snow was just about finishing up, and hadn't laid any tracks. So I just pulled down way down the end of this logging road and headed off the end of it and cut a track right off. Passed on that buck, went deeper in, found another buck, and I ended up shooting that buck, probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I never got in the woods till 9. And so you never know what's going to happen. Brand new area, went on a whim, picked a spot, shot a buck. And sometimes that's just how it goes. If you get in the woods, if you're a tracker, you get in the woods, there's snow, you keep going, eventually you'll find a track. Can't find one the first day, go every day, be persistent. That's what a tracker does, and that's how you end up consistently killing bucks. Hope you enjoy it. Well, I had to strike off from home this morning. There's no snow. There's a early snow that ran up the coast of Maine and kind of hit the eastern half of the state. It's opening day of Maine's deer season here, Monday. So I headed east at 3:30 this morning, try to find some snow. I've been driving 2.5 hours, and I've got into some pretty good snow here now. It's about this last half an hour of snow, so it looks like I've probably got it's 3 or 4 inches of snow right here. Plenty of snow. The road's rough. Never hunted here before, so I'll see what happens. Try to find a track here. Hey, if I'm lucky, I might hit a track from the road. I don't know. Found this side road I wanted to take, goes way back in behind a mountain, and I got here and nobody's driven in here, so maybe I got a pretty good chance of picking up a track for any deer around here. Well, I got down here, the end of this old road. There's no deer tracks. I don't think they move much in the night, and hardly even a moose track. Nothing moved. So I'm going to strike into the woods and see if I can cut a track in there. Never been here before. Just looked at my DeLorme Atlas and give me a reference of what's out there. It looks like get down the end of this road and there's a big piece of woods with no roads in it, so that's the kind of places I like. Strange thing just happened to me here. I just left the truck, and I'm right at the end of this old winter road there, and I stepped over the wood tops and got into a skid trail, and I looked down. There's a buck track right here, about half filled in with snow. It appears to be pretty good size. I can't see the print yet. It's out in the raspberries and stuff here, but I'm going to follow it along because they haven't moved much, and Even if it was made yesterday afternoon, late or in the evening, I think I can find the old boy, or find something fresher. Pretty neat. This buck's gone down just about in the back side of these choppings here, and he got in this old, it's like an old cart road or some kind of an old road, and there's a track fresher coming back in his track, and it's just got a dusting in it. I don't know if it's what blew out of the trees in the night or whatever, but it could be the same buck, like it turned around, come back out. So this one's fresher, and it looks like a pretty good sized one here. So I'm gonna make my turn on this fresher track and see what happens. Well, he's crossed the stream and he's come out in these newer cuts. They look like a year or two old cuts down in this, like a cedar bog kind of thing down in here. He's feeding all over the place, just zigzagging and feeding around. So I'm just gonna go easy, because I think what happened was he might have laid down back where I crossed the track, where it come back on itself, and just get up and feed. And I don't think he's gonna be very far away, so I'm just gonna go easy here. Might catch him out in a cut here somewhere. That buck is right there. I just jumped him. I knew I'd find him out in this chop in there. I just see him go. He stopped over there for a while, but I think it's a 6-pointer. I think his horns go kind of straight up, not very wide. 2.5 or 3.5-year-old, not a big buck, but only track I've seen. So now I got to cross country it and see if I can pick up a bigger one. Get moving. About 10 o'clock now. After I left that other buck, I cut into the bigger woods here. There's some big old growth cedar and stuff. I've been just trying to strike in this like a easterly direction, and I don't know, I've gone 1/4 of a mile, 1/2 a mile. I cut another buck track here. Didn't look much different than the other one, but it's got some snow in it. But it's I just come along on it about 50 yards or so, and I come to a scrape he made here in the night. So maybe there's a little more dominant buck there. So I'll follow this one and see where it brings me. But again, the track's quite old, probably made late last night. This guy is, he seems to be more on a mission there. He isn't really fed like that other one. I think he's an older buck. The print doesn't look awfully huge, but he's dragging his feet some, and he's got a better stance than the other ones there. The other one. And he's laying down some scrapes, so well, see if we can get a look at him. Might be something we want. Or when the track gets freshened up with no snow in it, we'll get a better look at it. But he laid down a couple more scrapes, and he went out in this, there's a new chopping out here, and there was a couple of does there, and he chased them around. Came back into the bigger woods, uncut woods. Made a big scrape here, and then he's jogging off. Well, the old boy tackled a brown ash here and rubbed her up pretty good, and there's a couple other whips in front of it scraped down, so
I think the old boy's horned up a little bit. I just come to his bed. He laid here a while, but looks like he laid down, got up, laid down a couple times right in the same spot. And he's headed off again. The bed's frozen, so track's still quite old. I see where it went out of there. There's still seems to be a little dust in the snow, probably what blew out of the trees or something, but we'll keep going. I just shot this buck. After he got up from laying down there, he fed around a little bit, so I was going real easy. Peeked around this spruce tree here, and I could see the back of his head, back of his neck, and his horns. I can't tell how big he is, but the horns look like they're outside his ears. I got my binoculars on him. He's about, I don't know, 35 yards. But he's still moving around over there, so I better get over there and check on him. Nice buck. Never know what's gonna happen. You head in the woods. I've never been in this piece of woods, never hunted anywhere near here. Got lucky on finding that first track, and I just, kind of looked at the map and decided I was gonna hunt down in this bottom and up around this ridge, and I found this track here and just made it happen. I didn't stop to eat my 10 o'clock sandwich because it was almost 11, and I wanted to keep moving along on him here, so I ate my sandwich on the run, and I knew when he'd get over here and he'd get up from his other bed and he started feeding, I figured he'd be right here pretty handy. And all he did was, I'm not 75 yards from his other bed. Actually, there was two beds. He laid down twice over there. He laid down, that first one I showed you, and then he went about 30 yards and he laid down again, and he fed around and went around a blowdown, and he headed over this way. And I can see here he was feeding on some ferns and stuff right here, and he laid down. It was kind of neat the way I could see him. I could just see his back of his neck and his head. He was laying up on like a hump here, and I was looking over a blowdown. That's all I could see, and I couldn't see the size of his body, but I was pretty much made up my mind I was going to shoot by the track. The way he was acting, making them scrapes and hooking them trees there. But he's an 8-pointer, and he looks pretty nice. Well, got a beautiful buck here. It's an 8-pointer, fairly heavy at the bases. He's not a real, I thought he was maybe an older deer, but he's kind of a short deer. I think he's going to be right around 200 pounds, but it's the accumulation of a funny day there. I left home at 3:30 this morning. Had no idea where I was going to hunt. I knew there was snow further to the east in Maine here. I had a couple ideas in my mind just over the years talking to people and stuff about some places. And so I tried one spot there and there wasn't much for tracks. And I really had kind of thought this other place here, I had a better idea about it. I came in, there was absolutely no tracks in the road, so I drove all the way to the end of the road where it goes into a bigger piece of woods off some cuts, and I showed you that other buck there. I got on that buck and let that one go. Picked up this track not too long afterwards, and I knew this was a better buck. He was making a bunch of scrapes and rubbing his horns, and so anyways, when he laid down, I knew we'd be close. It's the first, you know, I guess the 2nd or 3rd of November or something, 4th, and there ain't much going on for the rut up here. So he had made his rounds for the night and was just feeding, and he bedded down and get up, and he was going to spend the day right here. And when I got on the track, it was quite old in the night, but I don't think I've been more than, probably as a GPS is not much more than a half a mile from where I left the other track. I just looked them 1.04 miles from the truck, which isn't too bad. I'm hoping there's a better way to drag them out of here, because I'm looking around and it's uphill to start with here. So, but anyway, you never know. You get out of the truck, you get in the woods, and you might get a buck. So I got a lot of work to do here. Get him gutted out and try to figure out how to get in here. I'm kind of in a crappy place on the back side of a little ridge here, and I'm going to have a little bit of a tussle on my own here for a while, so got to get at it. But he's a beautiful, beautiful buck. Got to thank the good Lord again for providing me with this animal. Me and my honey will eat good this winter.